Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another market breakdown. This is going to be our first one of 2026. I want to apologize in advance. I've been sick and I know I've been absent for a little bit. I'm still a little bit under the weather. So if I'm misspeaking a little bit or you see me correcting myself or clearing my throat, that's just because I'm still battling this respiratory infection and a sinus infection. But I'm still going to show up. Like I said, I got a lot of dedicated mentees that are trying to lock in for 2026, and they're facing a lot of new stuff that they've never seen before. So this video is going to be preparing you guys for what I like to call is war charts. Basically, a lot of volatility in the market. I want to make sure that you guys are prepared and that you guys know how to identify your levels. And for some of you guys that might not be specifically day trading every day, I want to give you guys some stocks to keep your eye on so you guys can take advantage of this. Right now, we're kind of hesitating and waiting for the Santa Claus rally. That's usually what happens after we get that pull back in December for the holiday season. So we're going to talk about a couple things today. We're going to break down MRKT AI, a platform. You probably heard me talk about this in some of the live streams. This is a platform that's pushing high impact news. I highly recommend that a lot of you traders implement this into your trading strategy, because before it reaches media outlets like CNBC and CNN and Yahoo Finance and a lot of these big news publishing companies, MRKT AI is gonna pull it and push it to you first. So, for instance, right now, that I don't even think a lot of people know, one of the headlines of MRKT AI is already talked about, and we'll pull it up here. China has been hacking emails from U.S. congressional committee staff, so that's going to be very interesting. Something to keep your eye on. Obviously, they're a little upset with what we just did with Venezuela. And for those of you guys that don't know, Trump went ahead and kicked in the front door to Venezuela, pretty much blew up all of their defense systems that they purchased from China. And by the way, Chinese military and Chinese defense manufacturers copied a lot of our technologies for defense, and they sold them to Venezuela and gave Venezuela this false impression that they were going to be protected. And they thought that Russia and Chinese intelligence was going to have their back when we kicked in the front door, and that's not what happened. In fact, they didn't even have a chance to have any casualties on our side. So that just showed how vulnerable their defense system, as far as Chinese defense systems and Russia's defense systems, are. So I do expect Trump to take advantage of that, and that's probably why he's been a little bit more he's been a little bit more confident when he's making a lot of these power moves. But that's a new headline that just got posted at 6:30 p.m. about 5 hours ago. So as you can see, even U.S. seizes Russian flag tanker. All of this stuff matters, guys. This happened during after hours, after the New York session has ended. So I would expect a lot of volatility going into New York open session tomorrow. So keep your eyes on that. Like I said, I'll put the link in the bio for MRKT AI. Highly recommend all you traders implement this into your trading strategy, because before it reaches CNN and all these, Instagram outlets and TikTok and Twitter, it's definitely going to pop up on you first. So, excuse me. So that's that. Switching over to the economic calendar, let's take a look of what high impact news we have for the rest of the week. And as you can see here, it's sorting through everything, telling us what we got coming up. January 8th, high impact news at 7:30 in the morning. These are going to be our high impact news events, and it looks like they're going to start at 7:30. Our last one is at 9:30, and then going into Friday, we have non-farm payroll. So expect a lot of consolidation tomorrow. The only reason why I would expect some type of volatility and some moves is just because of all this war talk that's happening between China, Russia, Greenland, and U.S. and Venezuela. So me personally, I'm probably going to be sitting on my hands all the way through Tuesday. But we do have red photo news going on for the rest of the week. So you guys be careful with that. We're going to go ahead and switch over to the charts here. There's going to be 3 tickers I want to keep our eyes on here. One of them, obviously, is going to be NASDAQ or ES, one or the other. But we're going to mark out some zones here. We're going to mark out some zones here that I want to keep my eyes on. We're going to switch to the 4-hour. Start off with today. Excuse me. Starting off with today, as we're seeing a 4-hour, we have buy side liquidity up here. I'll mark it out for you guys. So we have buy side liquidity there. Actually, let's switch to MNQ. I'm personally trading MNQ right now. It gives me a chance to control my leverage. I don't want to get caught in any liquidity sweeps, and that's exactly what happened earlier today. So as you can see here on the 4-hour time frame, I was targeting buy side liquidity. it got up there pretty quick, relatively quick, but what I didn't like was how fast price reacted. So as you guys already know about the tap and go strategy, we do wait for a price sweep first. But during market open, as you can see here, price did respect this small fair value gap that we have here on the 30-minute. I'll mark this out for you guys so you can see it. And the more we do this together, obviously the easier it's going to be for you guys. Barely dipped into this fair value gap down here on the 30-minute time frame. So once I saw price respecting that fair value gap, and that candle was still open and started rejecting it. And that candle, by the way, was at 10:30 this morning, Eastern Standard Time. Price pushed up, clean price action, clean price run to buy side. I mean, price didn't even hesitate. But just as fast as it went up to buy side liquidity, I did take advantage of the shorts and scalp the short all the way down to this order block, and I took TP there. Now, this is concerning. What we have here, we have a price sweep, we have a rejection, we have plenty of fair value gaps or inefficiencies on the way down, but price did invert this FVG right here. So that is a little bit concerning for those that want to be bullish. As you guys know, my rule of thumb, especially when you have war talks and you're at all-time highs, I do stay bullish. I do not short the market when we're at all-time highs, and I definitely don't short the market when we're talking about war. But the rules are the rules. So right here, inversion of that fair value gap. Price did respect this FVG before. Price is dipping into this fair value gap. So maybe we'll get another retest here, possibly. We have this drop here. Sorry. We have this drop here. Maybe a retest here. Maybe come up and target some of this inefficiencies here, and then give us another continuation to the downside. Now, if price inverts this fair value gap and maybe rejects this rejection block, we can target sell side liquidity resting over here or possibly down here below these lows. Okay, so that's what I am looking for going into tomorrow. But it really depends. Like I said, we have a lot of high impact news here coming up here. It can do pretty much a little bit of all of it, but these are my zones that I'm looking out for. So obviously we inverted this fair value gap. If price stays below this FVG, then we're going to be targeting sell side. This is just clear indication that price might have been bullish before, but hey, it might be scaring the market right now. It might be scaring Wall Street, and they might be wanting to get out of the way and transfer the money out of the U.S. market and put it into something else. So that's what we got going on so far for NASDAQ. But of course, if price respects it, closes back above this fair value gap and gives you something like this, maybe a push down, sweep of this internal sell side liquidity, chop up, respect that fair value gap, respect this fair value gap after a closure above, and then now we're up here into these inefficiencies. So if you are in any of these trades, just be careful. Make sure you guys aren't holding your trades into these order blocks, or you guys not placing these entries as we're pushing into these inefficiencies, because price can quickly react and give you a flip, and now you're in drawdown immediately. So me personally, like I said, a lot of different scenarios can happen here. Until I see price either close above this fair value gap, I'm not looking for long positions, and I'm definitely not looking for any short positions until price gives me a clear indication that it wants to reject the fair value gap and tell me which direction order flow wants to be. That's my strategy there. Now, what we do have here on a 4-hour, when we look below this sell side liquidity and this order block on the sell side down here as well, we do have a fair value gap down here. Now, I do target the extreme levels. I'm not going to target this zone because that's a little bit too easy. So I will be looking for an entry somewhere down here. It stops below the low, but like I said, we'll just wait and see. This is a long way down. Market has to do a whole lot to get there, but like I said, between all this high impact news we got coming up, you never know, and especially Trump at any moment can do something crazy and scare everybody. So that's what I have here. When I look over to the left, though, we do have a lot of buy side liquidity resting. Beautiful equal highs right here as well. So we have plenty of reasons why we should be bullish, but again, once we see this closure below this fair value gap and we're pushing into this order block, we really got to see what price wants to do, especially going into the morning, how the charts look for NASDAQ in the morning. So that's what I have for NASDAQ. I really don't want to get too much into any of the stocks right now. One stock that I do want to keep my eyes on, though, I know I mentioned this to you guys before, was Intel. I told you guys before that Trump has a lot of interest in Intel. I told you guys this before this gap up when Intel was only $20 something a share. Guys, the government is funding Intel. They need to own some type of technology company. They want to have vested interest into our own chip manufacturer company US side. They don't want to rely on Taiwan Semi or any foreign entity. They want to have their own. And Intel right now is behind the 8 ball with AI. They just need funding. And they got a new CEO. And Trump has publicly mentioned that he has a lot of interest in Intel. So if you guys want to add this to your portfolio and let it grow over time, I highly recommend it. It's only $42 a share. It doesn't take a lot of capital for you guys to get your feet wet and grow. Now, some of you Bitcoin guys have been watching MicroStrategy. I'm really not a big fan of crypto right now. Until we start seeing some good volatility in Bitcoin, I want to see candle closures, clean candle closures out of the zone. We've just kind of been bouncing around in this larger fair value gap here. And I do want to target 75,000 for BTC. I told you guys in the Discord, those of you guys that are in the Discord, I mentioned that although price is making this price run here, it barely tapped into buy side liquidity, resting above this fair value gap, just ever so slightly. So, and as you can see, we do got a price sweep here, buy side, which means our next target was probably going to be sell side. I'm still screaming 75,000. So you heard it here. I've been saying it for a long time. And if price does decide to run, so be it. But I'm not bullish personally until I see 75,000 tap. So that's all I have for BTC. Let's go ahead and take a look at oil. Now, obviously, I've been keeping my eyes on oil. We got sell side liquidity here. I did mention before, especially in the Discord, and I'm been publicly on Instagram, that when we get down to these low oil prices for the barrel, I do anticipate them to pull some type of stunt, political stunt, because they got to get the price of oil up. Our country and a lot of our major investors institutionally invest in oil, right? But if the price per gallon isn't in the 60s or at least above $57 a barrel, then it was really not profitable. Now, let's go ahead and switch back over to Market AI. I just want to show you how important this is. If we go back to our news, you can see how, I'm trying to find it here, Trump wants the price per barrel, right? Trump considers some control over Venezuela's oil to lower oil prices to $50 a barrel. He's trying to compete against foreign entities. So that being said, I would not be bullish at all on oil. If we picked up 300 billion barrels of oil, that means that our supply is absolutely insane. So I wouldn't be bullish on oil, guys. I don't know what else to tell you. $51 a barrel is the zone I have marked out for a fair value up over here. I'm not just making this up. The charts are the charts. So we'll see what happens when we get down there. But price has been on a bear run for quite a while, and nothing's changed. I mean, until we start seeing some type of bullish price delivery out of this consolidation, maybe candle closure above, right now I would look at this level here. I would love to see a candle closure above, what is this, $58 a barrel before I'm even bullish. But like I said, we just picked up, we are literally the chip leaders in oil right now, guys. There's no reason for you guys to be trying to be bullish on that. Now, switch over to gold. So what we have here, we have an order block here, as you can see. And this was the zone I told you guys once we have a candle closer above it to stay bullish. But hey, now we had that price sweep. We're dipping into another fair value gap. We're going to go ahead and clean this chart up a little bit here. Guys, I'm struggling, but we got to thug it out, man. Charts don't care if you're sick, you know what I'm saying? So boom, got a nice fair value gap, and this is on a daily time frame. These are pretty big moves. Fair value gap at 44. That's exactly where we're at. Depending on how price reacts here is going to tell me if we're going to continue to be bullish or we're going to be bearish. So this is an important level. If we do flush to this level, maybe do something like this, right? Price run up to the upside, rejection, candle closure below the fair value gap. Look for a sell entry somewhere in here and target sell side liquidity down here, right? That will be a move that I'll be looking for. This flush here was a clear indication that there are sellers in the market, but the reason why they didn't flush it all the way down, as you can see these engulfing candles, and these are daily time frame candles, guys. These are nothing to play with. But the reason why we don't have a flush all the way down to fill these inefficiencies, obviously, is because they want to get the best price possible. There's a lot of people that are bullish right now, a lot of indecisiveness, especially in the market. But keep your eyes on this. I'm not the type to want to short. Like I told you guys before, when we're at all-time highs, I usually stay bullish. But again, the strategy is the strategy, guys. If we flush below this fair value gap, we look for a break and retest possibly and target sell side liquidity. So that's why I'll be looking for that. If not, if it respects it, then you guys already know we're going to be targeting buy side to the upside, and we just keep shooting. Okay, so that's what we have for gold. Let's go ahead and switch back over to silver. Now, silver is interesting as well because of all the stuff that happened in Venezuela. I think China actually banned all exports from silver. The reason why that's important is because they do use silver for a lot of our microchips and so on. So we actually need silver for our technology. But hey, I think we did inherit a lot of natural and rare earth minerals from Venezuela as well. So we're really not stressing on it. And that's why China's being a little bit stingy on it. But same thing, guys. Fair value gap on the daily time frame, and we are dipping into it. Price is respecting it. We'll mark this out real quick. If we have a candle flush here, right, same thing. We're going to be looking to enter and short on that inversion, targeting maybe inefficiency down here. We do have sell side liquidity resting below here as well. So there's a lot of stop losses for people that went long here, and there's a fair value gap that was respected as well. So now if we flush below that sell side level, I do have some levels resting down here, and I got alerts down here for equal lows on a smaller time frame. But we'll see what happens, guys. Like I said, all-time highs, I don't short it until it gives us a reason to. All right, now there's a couple stocks I want to keep my eyes on here. One of them is going to be Halliburton. Nice, beautiful gap to the upside. That's crazy. I'm just not looking at this, guys. This was about 3 days ago, so this was Friday, actually last Friday. Beautiful gap to the upside for Halliburton. The reason why this is important, Halliburton already has structure over there in Venezuela for them to mine oil and export oil. I mentioned this in the Discord, guys. You guys remember this? Trump plans to sell Venezuela's oil. He needs U.S. companies to help mine and sell and export Venezuela oil. He's trying to sell it to China and Russia. So instead of Venezuela being the plug, Trump's trying to be the plug when it comes to oil now. So that being said, any U.S. companies such as Halliburton that already has international permits and they have structure and they can go ahead and mine and well oil over there and drill, that's who's going to probably be taking those government contracts to take advantage of that, which means a lot of profit. But like I said before, the charts are the charts. Filling this gap here, right? We completely filled this gap on a higher time frame as the daily time frame. Once again, let me zoom out a little bit, go to the monthly time frame. We're not at all-time highs, but as you can see here, we do have a beautiful reversal here. We have a fair value gap down here. We haven't tapped into it yet, but if price closes above, I want to say this order block here, then I would definitely be looking to target this beautiful buy side liquidity up here. Okay, and it looks like it got equal lows. Equal highs up here as well. So that would be my first target, which would be $43 a share. And then we do have some inefficiencies here. We have a fair value gap here as well. Beautiful for FVG. That's going to be at $49 a share. So if you guys want to take maybe leap contracts, longs, I would definitely recommend doing so because this is going to be something that prints for a long time. And once we clear this level, we have buy side at $58, and we also have a fair value gap over here in the $60 range. So keep your eyes on Halliburton. Another one that I want to keep my eyes on, obviously, is UEC. This is alternative energy sources. I've been screaming this for a while, guys. I'm going to be screaming this until we hit $100 a share. We've been in since it was $7 a share, and it's just been printing ever since. So, guys, I'm calling out. I'm not calling out your Teslas. I'm not calling out your Metas. I'm not calling out your $300, $400 stocks. These stocks anybody can purchase. Even if you can only afford 10 of them, 140 bucks, you buy yourself some shares and just sit on it and let this stuff grow and let it print, guys. So there's no excuse for anybody to not make any money. These are free plays. I've been screaming nuclear energy is going to be an alternative source of energy, especially since we're the new chip leader. 300 billion barrels of oil is what we just assumed. These other countries, they're not going to want to deal with us, especially if we're being bullies. Especially if we're being bullies in the world, they're going to try to find alternative sources of energy. So, it looks like we just got another high-impact news event. China asked some Chinese firms to temporarily pause their H200 order source. So, that's the NVIDIA chips, and I'm going to show you this, guys, live, literally just now. This is how important Market AI is. So, if those of you guys that might be wanting to trade NVIDIA, Market AI definitely took that information, analyzed it, and is giving you a bias based on certain, Forex pairs. You got Bitcoin there expecting to be bearish. And we also have NVIDIA expecting to be bearish. So speaking of NVIDIA, let's go ahead and switch back over to the charts and take a look at what the charts might have for us for NVIDIA. So here we go. Sorry, I'm gonna clear this up a little bit. Lots of consolidation, lots of ranging, lower high, lower high, lower high. Yeah, guys, definitely got tons of sell side resting below here. We got it for everybody. Got over here. We'll see what happens. But this could give us a gap to the downside. We already know that NVIDIA floats a lot of money because they, how should I say this? Oh, I see another fair value up here in a 30-minute. NVIDIA is saying that they got a lot of profit and they got a lot of revenue, but all they do is got a lot of people that are having orders. They haven't fulfilled all those orders yet. So what happens when China pauses all those orders that was in the millions or possibly, you know, the 20 billion range of orders for chips, and they don't fulfill those orders, they don't follow through with those orders, they just pull all those orders out. That's a lot of revenue that NVIDIA is going to miss out on. So for China to say that right now, they're preparing for some type of retaliation. You already know these guys are allies with Russia, so expect all kind of stuff to break loose in the next 48 hours, that's for sure. So that's what I got for NVIDIA. I would probably keep my hands off of it and be safe and kind of just be, yeah, it says Beijing has suspended NVIDIA chip purchases. This is interesting. So keep your eyes on that, guys. But again, MRKT AI has our back, and before anybody else hears it, we're going to see it first, okay? All right, so one more stock here. Defense stocks, Palantir, obviously we can expect them to be bullish, right? I got a couple levels here. Yeah, straight to the upside here. So we're gonna be bullish on Palantir all the way up to the $188 range. And as we shrink our chart, we do have some buy side resting all the way up here at $221. It could take us a little bit there, but if all hell breaks loose, definitely expect your defense stocks to take off. And speaking of defense stocks, let's go ahead and take a look at Lockheed Martin. So here we go. 490. Oh, sorry. Yeah, wow. This is crazy. $527 a share. It looks like it closed at 496 and maybe had a gap up during after hours from the looks of it. So yeah, crazy gap up from after hours. Wow. Market close. Price was at 493. As of right now, we're sitting at 527. $30 gap up during after hours. Guys, I'm expecting something to happen tomorrow. There's no reason why Lockheed Martin, a defense company, should just be taking off during after hours like that. Yeah, they're talking about delivering jets and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, this is something to keep your eyes on. Wall Street knows something that we don't know. Something's brewing up, guys. That's all I'm going to say. The charts is going to tell you first before it hits the news outlet. So for our defense company, U.S. defense company, to be taken off like that, that should tell you guys probably need to buckle up. But that's all I got for you guys today. No need to be scared or anything like that. Just navigate through these charts the best you can. Lower your leverage. I told you guys in the Discord, if you guys are trading futures, I would definitely recommend you trade micros, because at any moment, volatility can hit the market and you can blow your funded accounts and blow your live accounts and be very, very angry because you guys didn't know how to play defense. So me personally, I probably will stay out of the charts until at least Tuesday, especially with the red for the news that's coming up. That's just my normal strategy and my rules anyway. But I know you guys are savages, and you guys are gonna want to trade regardless, because you guys are savages and you guys are snipers, because you guys learned from one of the best. So that's what I got for you guys today. I'll see you guys in the Discord. Those of you guys that are waiting for the mentorship, I'm gonna be launching a Telegram so you guys can join and keep all the up-to-date information. I'm going to be pushing more content on social media as well, so you guys look out for that. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, like this video, comment below any stocks that you think we should keep our eyes on. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.